Joining me now live is Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez. Mr. Vasquez, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Okay, so first, what led to you wanting to prosecute people who don't complete deflection?
Well, when we start from the beginning, the Oregon State Legislature recriminalized drugs, and they provided a lot of off-ramps, and that was deflection. And certainly I want to see that program work. And my whole philosophy has been compassionate accountability. But right now, when we've looked back, we've had a year, and we just haven't seen any results. The accountability piece is missing, and it's just about taking the program that we have, building it up, adding in accountability in a way that hopefully really supports people getting into treatment and engaging with treatment.
So what will that process look like exactly?
Yeah. So, a lot of it's not going to change. An officer will make an arrest, they'll take a person to the deflection center, they'll drop them off. At that point, that person has a lot of resources that are going to be available. They can go and get assessments done at the deflection center, and then from there get some referrals out to various treatment options. What is changing is that they can't simply touch the door and walk away. That has to end. The other part is that once those assessments are done and they've got those referrals, all I'm asking is that they actually take some meaningful steps to engage in some treatment.
How will you know if they don't?
Well, after 90 days, we'll certainly go to the health department and we'll ask them. We'll say, has this person engaged in any meaningful treatment? We'll get a report back from them and we can make an assessment from there. As we start out, of course, we're going to be flexible and try to work with people and do all we can to really help people who are maybe struggling to get through treatment as much as they can.
So in a memo from your office, officers are instructed to submit all investigative reports when someone is taken to deflection, and prosecutors may file charges if that person fails to engage. What does meaningful engagement here actually mean?
Well, we left that broad because we certainly wanted input from treatment providers, from county commissioners and others. But for me, what it really comes down to is the person actually taking some steps. Did they go to some meetings? Did they enroll in a detox center? There are lots of options, and I'm someone that believes there's a lot of different pathways to sobriety and to getting healthy, and so I'm not trying to be overly prescriptive and say it has to be this one way or the other. It's about allowing for many pathways to treatment.
You've also said you plan to expand the number of drug possession cases that are eligible for deflection to include things like disorderly conduct or criminal trespassing. What outcomes are you hoping to see from that?
Well, I want to see individuals actually start to benefit from a program and see that the deflection is actually working in the way that I think the community really expects. So in a way where people are now being connected to treatment. If that's occurring, then yeah, I want to see it expand. I want to bring in as many people as possible to a program that's working. I think what we've seen though is that last year we just didn't get the results that we were hoping for as far as people actually engaging in treatment.
So some county commissioners, as we just heard from, argue that this approach is unfair because they say there are just simply not enough treatment resources currently available in Multnomah County. So how do you respond to that concern?
Multnomah County is really one of the best resourced counties in the state of Oregon. We received a lot of money from the state for deflection. I believe it was well over $6 million. We have a massive health department. This county has lots of nonprofits. There's just a ton of different pathways to treatment. What I would say is that in the end, it is really up to that individual to say, hey, I'm ready to make some changes in my life, and we're looking for all different ways in which they might be making those changes.
But I think it goes a little beyond that because we are hearing two very different sides of the story. We have county commissioners telling us that resources are being stretched thin, and then we go across the river into Old Town and we see empty recovery beds just sitting there waiting for people to use them. So how would you propose bridging the gap between service providers, county leaders, and then those running the deflection center?
Well, certainly I think a big piece of this is the deflection center and making sure that they are drawing upon the network of available options. But at the end of the day, it comes down to that individual. And the individual, it's not up to the county to actually be responsible for this. I think it's wonderful that the county is trying to engage in it and doing that work, and I want them to. But at the end of the day, that individual that's arrested for a crime of possession, it's their responsibility. I think we should help them, but in the end it is a bit of a push-pull, and they need to be willing to engage in treatment.
But what about the people who are willing to engage but just aren't being connected to those empty beds because of holes in our system here?
Well, I think as we saw with some of the treatment providers, those options are out there. They are available, and they are being given currently lots of different referrals, a whole different range. And all I'm looking for is people that are making efforts, trying. That's what we're looking for.
Okay. I want to get your take on something that I witnessed today in Old Town. So we were downtown right outside the new city-run day center, and we witnessed a man who was pretty angry because his camp had just gotten cleared, and he showed us fentanyl that he was just about to use because he was so upset. He used the fentanyl in front of us and also in front of county outreach workers that were inside the day center. I asked the county outreach workers, hey, can you help this man who's clearly in crisis? They said no, because he wasn't inside the day center. So what does that moment say to you about how the system is or isn't working?
Well, certainly I'm not responsible for all the different county day centers, and I would love to see better coordination and see opportunities for people and for interventions where people are in crisis. It is one where there's always going to be opportunities to improve and to see changes within our system.
What needs to change, though, specifically on the ground to address open drug use that is happening in broad daylight, all hours of the day?
Oh, when we talk about on the ground open air drug use, I believe officers should be going out and holding people accountable. I've had a great response. I sat down and chatted with officers today. They're very open to this change, and they want to see this as well. So when we talk about that on the ground, it is just a matter of, do we have the officers and the resources available to go and intervene in that situation?
Okay, Mr. Vasquez, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Well, now we want to hear from you. What do you think of the DA's plan for the deflection program? Did anything he say stand out to you? Let us know. Email the story at kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We're back right after this.